Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of this Monday afternoon here at MadWorldTarot. In fact, it's no longer afternoon, it is evening, and I'm back from the washing machine and I have the Guardian of the Night Tarot on the tarot table. I think the Guardian of the Night in this one is Sophie. We're having a look at the story that popped up in the Daily Express. Yes, I know. One of those really reliable sources of information. I'm being sarcastic. The Daily Express has come up with a story about Harry trying to get back in with his old mates in the UK and find a home, trying to persuade the royal family to open up one of the palaces or something, give him room somewhere or a cottage somewhere. He wants his old life back, much to Meghan's annoyance. According to the story and according to somebody who is called Mark Boardman, don't know who he is, but anyway, he says Harry longs for his friends in the UK and wants to have a home in London. A free home, of course. Wouldn't we all want a free home in London at Kensington Palace or Windsor Castle? Perhaps one thing, I'm reading quotes, excerpts of the article, perhaps one thing that will help Harry get his twinkle back, I nearly said his tinkle back, get his twinkle back, is that he's thought to have reconnected with some members of his family. And Mark says Harry is now back in touch with the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. And immediately everyone said, oh really? Because we all saw Sophie, who apparently volunteered to go in the car with Meghan Markle to and from the funeral, late Queen's funeral. Nobody else wanted the job. Sophie was stony-faced, really cold as ice. She also was quite protective towards the Wales children, as far as I can recall. Might have got that wrong. But Sophie does not seem to be very fond of Meghan Markle. This is about has-been. And so we want to know, with the Guardian of the Night Tarot, what is going on? Does has-been really want to go back to the UK? We keep asking this question. Where is this story coming from? Is this a has-been story, a little PR push to try and get the royals to give him a free home? Or is this coming from Madame Markle herself? Her options are rapidly running out in Montecito, and she might need a home in the UK as well. Although I don't ever imagine she will set foot in the place again, not according to what I see in the cards. And then we want to know how Harry feels about Sophie and Edward as people. And is he really reconnecting with them? Is he reaching out? Is he trying his best to build bridges? Not a very Harry thing. Not lately anyway. And then how they feel about him, and are they open to the idea of some sort of rapprochement, perhaps a strategic reconciliation. I don't know what's going on. We want to know. It's an odd story. Outcome. Has been going to weasel his way back into the royal fold. Still on the royal website, of course, to the dismay of many, and who want to know why such a feckless creature and disloyal creature should still be recorded as representing the royal family abroad. Most people find that very distressing. Let's see. It's tarot, of course, for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion. It's all speculation. I read energy here, archetypal energy, and there is a disclaimer. As I have to reach across the table. There is a disclaimer in the box below, as ever. Now hang on, we want this card. Oh dear, that's the card we want as our underlying energy. The Tower. The Tower doesn't bode well for Harry's attempt at reconnecting, or whoever is floating this piece to see in the Daily Express, to see how it is received by the royal family, by Sophie and Edward. Doesn't bode well. That's the Tower. That's a divorce card. That's all fall down. He's been looking quite cheerful up until now, so it's surprising to see such a catastrophic card and the underlying energy, because he doesn't seem to have realized quite how bad his life is and quite what danger he is in. But there it is. Even if he doesn't know it, universe knows, and universe has sent a warning with the Tower card that things are about to fall down. His relationship possibly with his wife, and possibly also, well, his relationship with the royals has already completely collapsed, and I don't think Sophie and Edward are going to be that welcoming, but let us see. Perhaps they have been asked to help mend this bridge for the king. Perhaps that is what's going on. We will have a look and see what is the actual situation we are dealing with. We're dealing with the Six of Swords in reverse. Somebody wants to come home. Six of Swords is the overseas travel. It's I left, I'm exited because you were all so awful and you still haven't apologized and you were racist and you were horrible to Megan, to M. But now the card is in reverse. I want to come home. I want to travel back across the water. But I can't, I'm stuck. I'm stuck with her. There we have it. We got a tower on the one side and the Six of Swords in reverse on the other side. The bed that he has made for himself. I wonder if he's ever made a bed in his life. Just thinking, because domestic chores are the forefront of my mind at the moment. Anyway, many people do not have beds, and I know you've had terrible flooding in New York, so many people there probably don't have beds to sleep on anymore either. Let us see, does he really want to go back to the UK? Does he want accommodation, courtesy of the royal family? Looks like he does so far. Oh yes, the Hierophant. Please help me. That's the royal family. It's a classic royal family card, the Hierophant. It's the rules, the regulation, the institution, the hierarchy, the link between the earthly plane and the higher plane. It's all of those things he wants back in. Desperate. It's hard out there having to earn a living. And especially when she shows up in a play suit and sort of rips her shirt open to reveal more than anyone wants to see, when she's supposed to be watching people doing sport who have come through some very difficult times to be able to play sport. Anyway, so where is this story coming from? Is this a Harry help piece, or is this Madame take him back, please, get rid of him? I don't want him anymore. What's going on? Where is this coming from? Ooh, it's coming from the High Priestess in reverse. That's female energy. Very interesting. Female energy, secretive female energy, mysterious female energy. I think it's coming from her. She's floating this. She might be preparing to get rid of him with that card, that she's had enough. And closing the door on him with that card being in reverse. When it's upright, it's access to the mysteries. The High Priestess is the one who has the access, who pretty much holds the key. It's the matching energy of the Hierophant. How interesting is that? I don't think I can remember when I've seen those two cards sitting like that. The Pope, basically, the Hierophant, and the Popess, as it was called in the old tarot. And there they are, mirroring each other. The one in the upright, the royal family, the one in the reverse, the one in shadow, the one full of secrets and deviousness and mystery and dark arts, potentially. I'm not accusing, I'm speculating. Very interesting what's coming from her. For her own sinister reasons, I would suspect, with that card. That's my speculation. How does Has-Been feel about Sophie and Edward? We're getting ourselves back on track. Forgot that this reading was about them for a while. So mesmerized by the cards that have come out on the table. But how does he feel about his uncle? Trying to think now. Yes, he's his uncle. How does he feel about Sophie and Edward? Ooh, Seven of Swords. Doesn't trust them. Thinks they're up to no good. They, of course, got the title that I think Harry was after. Prince Philip's title. Very, very, not famous, that's a wrong word. Important, highly regarded, even though Prince Edward has only got it for his lifetime. It's not going to pass down to his son, unfortunately for his son. But there it is. Harry doesn't trust them, thinks they're up to no good. Seven of Swords. Going around behind his back, taking things of his that they don't deserve because he's the spare. And Edward's just the last born son, and who cares about him? And why is he suddenly doing all the things and getting all the honours and awards and prestige and notice that Harry should be getting. Yeah, there it is. So are they really reconnecting? Is Harry really reconnecting with Sophie and Edward, or Edward and Sophie? Got the Knight of Cups. Well, Knight of Cups is Prince Edward, water sign, Pisces. So it's possible with that card, because it is a reconciliation card, the Knight of Cups. It's wooing kind of energy always. Knights are action cards, they do stuff. So the Knight of Cups will be reaching out. I don't know where the outreach is coming from. My spidey senses tell me the outreach is coming from Prince Edward, and maybe he is the one who has been designated as the peacemaker. He is seemingly quite a peaceable fellow. They wouldn't succeed with Prince William. Princess Anne would tell Charles, I guess this is coming from Charles indirectly, Charles what he can go and do. And who's left? Prince Andrew. No. So I suppose Prince Edward is the last shot. This isn't Sophie energy, and it's not Harry energy. I don't think I've ever read the Knight of Cups as being Prince Harry. So it looks as if there are some overtures being made, but it looks like it could possibly be coming from Prince Edward and not from Harry. Let's see how Sophie and Edward feel about has been. How do they feel about has been? And I've forgotten to put the outcome card on the table, so I'm going to have to pick it back off here, and you're going to have to trust me that I haven't made an outcome up. But how do Sophie and Edward feel about Harry? What do they think of him right now? Two of Pentacles in reverse. They think that he's in trouble. He's unbalanced with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. That's somebody that's stretched, overstretched, overwhelmed, exhausted, unhinged, possibly even unstable. Hasn't got much cash to splash, running out of money, got very little, and what little he has isn't stretching far enough, so they think he's in trouble. They do think he's in trouble. I think we all think he's in trouble. Let's move this card over there. And are they open to reconnecting with him? Are they willing to be the peacemakers in the royal family? How do they feel? They are, with the Five of Swords in reverse. They are. That is a classic peacemaker card. Five of Swords, upright conflict, fighting, loss, defeat, all that kind of stuff. When it's in reverse, it's like, okay, it's enough. We need to stop fighting. We need to make peace. We need to move on. We need to reconcile. Let's look at the outcome. And I'm sorry I didn't put it out. I was going to, and then I thought, no, I was being silly. But that would have been the card. There is something going on here, and we know who the Queen of Pentacles is now. Sophie. Sophie. She hasn't shown up in this reading up until now. There is the Knight of Cups. That's Prince Edward. It looks like Prince Edward is the one who's doing the work, the overtures, sending out messages. How are you? That kind of thing. She's the one, the Queen of Pentacles. She's the one who gets the deciding vote. She's the solid, stable energy, the Capricorn. She's the one who maybe even cooked up this plan. Maybe they had that family meeting. We know they had that family meeting at Balmoral through the summer, the late summer. All kinds of important things discussed. We know William and Catherine will have nothing to do with the Parkles and are being ring-fenced from them and protected by the rest of the royals, seemingly. But this could well be more true than I thought when I saw this article. I saw these headlines and I said, I think sure is the thing that I've thought. But it looks as if there is some substance to the story after all, and it does look as if the energy is coming from the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh and heading towards Has-Been. And it does look as if Has-Been is in trouble. Tower, Six of Swords, Two of Swords. He doesn't trust them. He's very suspicious of this whole thing. Very. There is a desire to go back into the royal fold, a very strong desire. It looks as if she's washing her hands of him and she's up to no good in the background. That's my opinion, of course. And it looks as if the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh are willing to do the work, to reconcile for the sake of the royal family, and I would say not the royal family. Well, the royal family in the sense that it doesn't look good to be feuding with a son who's clearly deranged and in trouble. Two of Pentacles, there it is. Two of Pentacles in reverse is clearly disturbed, unhinged, out of control, broke, whatever. My opinion, but that's what the energy of the card says. But it would be for the king, doing this work for the king. My interpretation. That's it. Sorry about the snafu there with not having an outcome for a while, but we got there in the end. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.